everyone, Justine here. So I'm back working in my altered book and I'm back to doing Margarete Miller's weekly collage challenge. So I'm on CW Planner 4, so that's week 4. And today I'm going to do another collage like last week. The difference is that I'm going to use a mix of Margarete's prompts with also Natasha's from Treasure Books, her collage formula, because when I was looking for my materials for the prompts, I realised that they coordinated really well with Natasha's collage formula. So I'm just going to run you quickly through the materials that I'm going to be using today. And I'm going to have these out in front of me just to show you exactly how well these two, well, the formula and this week's prompts go well together. So I'm just trying to work out how best to go with it. So shall we go through the collage formula and I'll coordinate it to this. So the base is going to be my book page. Then Natasha asks you to have some craft paper, so I've just got some, I think this came from some packaging. Then she says about having book page, which is also on Margarete's list here, a book page or portion. So I have this sort of dictionary page. Then Natasha asks for pretty paper. In my case, I have this really beautiful paper that I made from, obviously the paper itself is store-bought, but I did the pattern on it with nail varnishes. If you put nail varnish in water and then quickly put the paper on top, it gives you this really nice marbling effect. So this one was using some blue and some silver nail varnishes, and it also has a slight shimmer because obviously a lot of nail varnishes have a bit of a glitter, so I'm hoping you can see that. There's a bit of glitter there. So this is the pretty paper from the collage formula, which becomes an art scrap. I think that counts as being arty, so that's where that fits. Then the next bit on Natasha's list is plain paper, lined, or in her case she used graph paper, and that's also on this prompt list, graph paper or lined. So I have both. I have some graph paper and I have some lined paper with a butterfly on, which I thought was really cute, so I'll try and work in either one of those or both depending on how things go. Next is the focal point. So that isn't on this list, but obviously when you're doing collages you normally have a focal point, so I'm going to use this, cut from a book. I thought it was really just sort of fun and cartoony whilst still being beautiful at the same time. And it goes with, I'm doing a little bit of a pale blue, silvery type of theme today. Next, a sentiment, quote, etc. I do have one. I have this, whatever you're wishing for. That's going to be my prompt for journaling. And then extras, washi, stamp, stickers, shape, etc., which kind of fits in with this. So the top one here for the collage challenge is numbers. So I have this from a printable. It's a label. It's a label, so it counts as an extra. It's got numbers on it in the middle there, and I thought that looked really pretty, possibly with my flowers, kind of like that on the page. So the only things I'm missing, I haven't covered yet, are an old sticky note, which unfortunately I don't use sticky notes. I don't have a sticky note pad, so I'm having to skip that one from the prompts. And then the prompts also asked for instructions, which I do have, in the form of, I'm going to use this portion of a recipe. It's about a marinade, but I really quite like this, where it says about a strip of lemon rind, sprig of parsley, sprig of thyme. I thought that was kind of like country-ish. So I might end up using that as well, and that also counts as book page. So as you can see, this week's prompts and Natasha's collage formula just went really well. So I thought it was the best time for me to practice this, and I'm going to give that a go. So I don't think I will play music today. I might change my mind, but I think I'll try and talk through it, just because I'm going to be placing things and I'm going to be adding things, and I'm wondering whether I would prefer to talk through it so that I can actually give you ideas of like why I'm placing things where and what I'm thinking through. So I might do that, but we'll see how it goes. But either way, I hope you like what I come up with today. Alright, so the first thing I did just to prepare, I did this off camera, was I just stenciled around the border around the book pages. So I'm using a new Distress Oxide. It's a Victorian Velvet, so it's a sort of very pale pink. And, well, I say pale pink, it looks pale pink there, but it comes out a bit darker. And I just used my star stencil, just because I'm going to obviously want to cover up the writing, but I want to leave a little bit of a border so that I can still see that it was a book page underneath. That's my base, and that kind of thing. So the first thing from Natasha's list is the craft paper, which goes onto your base. So I've just torn it, hopefully almost exactly to cover up the text. Obviously there's little bits here, but I can put stuff there like washi or stickers or something. And I'm just using my Uhu stick, yep, you can see, to stick everything down. I don't think I need to use anything you know, particularly stronger than this today, but I do have my tacky glue, which I might use for the focal point, or the little number label that I have, just because they're a bit thicker, but we'll see. We will see. I'm just trying to make sure I don't use the Beacon 3-in-1 glue unnecessarily, because it is a little bit on the expensive side. So I want to make sure I'm covering up as much of the book page like text as I can. So I don't really want all of that. I'm just checking that I'm in frame. Yeah, sorry if you just saw my face just then. I'm still getting used to my camera setup, so I want to make sure that you can see everything and no problems there. So I hope the lighting is okay. I've got I haven't got my ring light on today because it is a bright, beautiful, sunny day here in Bristol. So I figured I would just use the light from the window. So I'm hoping it will suffice. So that's my base. So my base is the book page. Then I've got the craft paper. So the next is book page. So obviously I had this vintage dictionary, and I'm just trying to see if there's any particular words I want to avoid. In my case, demons, devils, that was on here, I think. Oh, actually, what's that say? Denouement, the untying of a plot, the winding up of a novel or play. French. Oh, I feel like that was really fitting with this, so I'm going to use that. So for now, I'm just going to place things, and you know, I might want more book page, but I've also got the instructions, the recipe to include, so really I'm just having a bit of a play and just trying my best to follow these instructions. So the next thing is the pretty paper, which from the prompt list is my art scrap. So I would really like to have this, as much of the marbling as possible if I can. I'm just trying to work out what side I would most like. So I'm going to just tear it. What side do I like best? Possibly this side. So I want torn edges all the way around. So I'm going to make sure I haven't torn away too much of the art scrap. So again, just placing. And the way Natasha did it is she wanted you to make sure that you could see all of the different layers. So you can still see the craft paper there. I might need to tear that down a bit, but we'll keep going. The next one is the lined paper or the graph paper. So I want to decide. I think I want to go with the note paper because it's got the nice blue one, which I'm getting, but I don't know if it's going to clash too much. So I'm going to tear it, and then if it's not right, I can replace it with the graph paper. And just trying to think where we would want that to be. Don't want to cover up the book page, so too much, but okay, I'm going to go with that. And then the next thing is the focal point. So, according to Natasha's instructions, where is my focal point? Here it is. She says to try and avoid the middle and to go for one of the four corners. So, for example, if I popped it in the middle, which actually, to be fair, I quite like, she says maybe you're best putting it in one of these four corners. Now, my page is small, so we'll see if that works for me, because actually I am liking it smack bang in the middle, which I know is not the done thing. So let's see. That would be, where would we want it? Oh, actually in the corner there might be nice. Maybe. Where else? It's because I'm liking it following this sort of edge. So I'm wondering, that's not in the middle, that is off to one side. It's not in the corners, but it is slightly off to one side. Maybe if we move it up a bit. go with that for now. And then I've got my numbers, which I quite liked to try and put a bit over the flowers because it was kind of, there's French language on there, and this feels like it's like a bouquet that you would get from a French market or something. That was my thoughts. And then sentiment quote, washi, etc. Oops. Now, I think I want to tear down the art scrap just a tad at the bottom, or rather at the top. Hopefully this works okay. Alright, and then this one. So as you can see, it really does take a little bit of playing, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. This will actually be a really, really good spot for some journaling, I think. A little bit narrower. Now, how are we looking? Sorry, I have a habit of humming to myself and I forget sometimes the camera's rolling. You know what, I'm just going to go with it. I could spend all day figuring this stuff out. Now I do need to ink these scraps, so I will obviously speed this up. So I actually did want to ask you, because I'm curious. Obviously I'm still, you know, make sure you're in frame. There we go. I'm still new to YouTube videos, as you might have guessed. But I want to hear from you. I want to know what kind of videos you enjoy. Do you like people talking through them, or do you prefer videos where maybe things are speeded up and they're playing some music? I'd really like to get a feel for what you like, because, you know, I watch various YouTubers, and they all do things differently, and I think it depends on the person, and it also depends on the project. But I seem to like both, and I can't quite make up my mind which I prefer. And so I don't know what I prefer for my own channel, and so I thought, who better to ask than the people actually watching these videos. So if you do, you know, if you do have a preference, I would really love to hear it. So if you wouldn't mind dropping me a note in the comments below, because then it just gives me a better idea of what you're looking for, what you're hoping to get from these videos, and how you prefer to learn. Because at the end of the day, this is why I'm doing it, is to try and show, you know, new things, and you know, yeah, just to show new things, and hopefully I'm showing stuff that you're inspired to give a try, and all those sorts of things. Obviously that is what I want. Now I've already inked these, and I did say I would use the tacky glue, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going to turn that over though. As you can see, this is my very scrappy bit of paper that I'm just using to protect my desk and mat. I hope I haven't just put that in ink, but that's okay. That's fine. Right, so where would we want it to be? I like that it's following the curve of the page, you see? But let's try a few other things. I do like it there. I'm hoping this will be okay here. Okay, and then this, obviously I liked it in reference to the, I'm going to pop it there. Yeah, I liked it in connection with the flowers. It just felt very like, yeah, a bouquet of flowers that you get from a French market. It just, I'm sure that's not what these numbers are depicting, but it feels like that to me. And obviously this book is, what was it called? A Breath of French Air. So it was, you know, based in France. So I do want to keep an element of that, you know, the French vibe, as and when I can. Not always, but just every so often. How are we looking? I think that's looking alright, and I can do some journaling here. Now, did I need anything else? Let me just move that. So I've got the base, which is obviously the book. I've got the craft paper, the book page, the pretty paper, plain paper, my focal point. I've got my numbers and the sentiment. So mine says, remember whatever you are wishing for. And in Natasha's tutorial, she was talking about how you want the eye to sort of travel. So in my case, you know, this is okay, there's lots going on here, but this is very empty. So I want to work out a way to fill up this space while still having it obviously in connection to the collage. Now I could also use some washi, and I've got this really nice one, green leaves and gold on it, because I feel like this definitely needs something else for it to stand out. I haven't used my instructions yet, which is the piece of recipe, so I'm just gonna tear this out. And I'm just going to ink around it. Now I'm not saying I'm going to use this, I just want to get an idea of whether this would be cute. Because obviously I do want to, you know, I want to use the prompt. This is obviously a Margarete Miller challenge first and foremost. Oops. Now, if I put that there, it would almost be like I'm saying that I'm wishing for some recipe ingredients. Now, I kind of like it down the side for it to be a bit different, but I'm still new to collage, so I don't know if it's too different. But again, this book is for me, so if I like it, then that's the main thing. Of course, now I feel like we're missing something here. Which is, I could put some washi because I need to cover, oh actually, let me just try something. No, I don't want the two book page together. Yeah, I need to cover, I can see a little bit of a W and a H, start of a H there, so I need to cover that anyway, but I'm thinking I could use the washi. Now I'm tempted, I'm just going to give something a go. Again, I'm just playing today. I'm going to pop the washi here, and I just want it to be bit of a torn, like I've just popped it on there, like I don't want it to be so perfect, you know. And I'm going to do the same with the washi in this corner. Again, just tearing a piece, trying not to be too perfect about it, and if there's anything I don't like, I'll just cut it off. Okay, so I'll just trim the washi down a sec. Alright, okay, so let's put that back. I really want to use this because obviously it's part of the challenge, but I don't know if it goes. I'm just going to keep it there for now because I can't really see anywhere else that could go. So I don't want to hide the washi now I've used it. Now, if I could possibly tuck that in there, but does it stand out enough against the book page? Not on its own. So I need to think, what could I use to make it stand out? Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to go off and grab a couple of other bits because I felt like I was missing something. So I was originally going to have this down here, but I just don't think this is going to fit, so I'm going to use that in something else instead. So I've added some pearls here, just a few little pearls, and they sort of stuck down just as I was testing it, so I decided, go with the flow, just leave them there. I found some lace that I'm going to pop here with my quote, and then as you can see, the eye has lots to look at, but there's something now missing here, so I'm going to try and see if a little butterfly stamp would work there instead. So let's get these stuck down. Now I do want my Fabri-Tac for the lace, so I'm just going to grab that. Now I can never work out if there's a right way around for the lace. I think it's this way, it's got a bit of thread, so I'm just going to pop that down here. Sorry if my head is coming in frame again. So, go. Oops. There we are, just pop that there. Because I do want to keep as much of this lined paper as possible, just because I am going to use it for journaling on. And then we have my quote, which I've already inked around. Oops. Glue is gluing out. Oops, sorry about my arm being in the way. There we go, okay. Just bring that down here. I'm trying my best to do the whole go with it, wing with it, because, you know, collage partly has to be about that. But I'm still learning. I am still learning. Now, I have my butterfly. Hopefully this will go. I'm just gonna dip it into my vintage photo, and unfortunately I don't have an ink pad, so I'm going to be ever so careful not to hopefully this will go down alright. Oh, nervous. I'm not a huge fan of stamping because I always think it's a bit of luck as to how it will come out. As you can see, I kind of didn't get it in the middle. This might be a mistake putting it down twice, but this book is just for me, so there it is. So it's not a perfect stamp. Maybe I'll even write about that. Maybe that will be my prompt. And I think that's all it needs. I think, oh, I just need to glue that down again, sorry. I was thinking that I would have the quote behind the flower, but I didn't want to cover up the definition at the top, and I didn't want to cover up the flower, and I didn't want to lose part of the words, so. But yeah, I think I'm done. I feel that was really quick. Yeah, I think that I just need to do a little bit of glue in there, but I can do that off camera. But no, I think I'm pretty happy with that. You know, my stamping went a little bit awry, but that's okay. These things happen. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But yeah, so if we remind ourselves, make sure I've got all of the prompts in, or at least as many of them as I could do. Because they are just prompts. You don't have to follow them religiously. I think that's the important thing to remember, is they are prompts. They're prompts to get you thinking. They're not instructions, orders that you absolutely have to follow. So I think that's the important thing. So I've got my numbers here. Graph paper or lined paper, I've got lined for my journaling. An art scrap, I've got my, you can still see some of my nail varnish marbling. I should do a video on that actually, because I made a whole bunch of different ones, you know, different colours and different styles, and it was amazing and so much fun to do, so I might do a video on that. I've got my book page or portion, there's my book page, a dictionary page, an old sticky note, didn't have one, bonus instructions, couldn't fit them in. I'm sorry, instructions, I really wanted to use you, but I couldn't. So you will be saved for something else. So that's the prompts mostly followed. As I say, they are just prompts. And then as for Treasure Book's, Natasha's instructions for the collage formula, I will link the video below just so you can see how she does it, because she's fabulous as always. So I've got my base, which is the book. I've got the craft paper, book page, pretty paper, plain paper. I've got the lined, focal point, sentimental quote, and then extras. So my extras were pearls, washi, butterfly stamp, and some lace. And that's it. I am okay with that, and I don't need a huge space for journaling. I like to have a mixture of larger journaling cards, larger journaling spaces with small spaces. I mean, look at the previous week where all I have is this. I still haven't filled it out yet. I haven't caught up with my journaling, so it's still a blank canvas ready for me to actually write a word there. But yeah, just a word, and this will just be a short note to myself, I guess. But no, I'm actually quite happy with how that's gone. So So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found that useful. As I said, I will link the collage formula below in the description so that you can actually see her video, because it was really, really helpful to me, and I hopefully it will be to you as well. And that is my prompts done for week 4. So on the next video, I'm going to be doing something, I'm still going to be working in my altered book, but I'm going to be doing something slightly different, so I do hope you'll stop by for that one as well. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found that useful and inspiring. Maybe it was a laugh, just laughing at me crafting along, who knows. Yeah, if you do have any feedback, feedback for me, or feedback for what you enjoy watching and what you like about these crafty YouTube videos, not mine but just generally, then that would be really, really helpful to me. As I say, I am new to YouTube, so if you do have any thoughts on you know, whether you like the videos that are quite chatty, you know, they're talking along as they're crafting, or whether you like things being speeded up, or whether you like just show me how it's done and I don't care how you do it, you know, if you prefer music, however it is that you like, I would really, really like to know. And if you do have any inspirational YouTubers that you like to follow and you like their style of making videos like this, then please link them below, because I would really like to discover more YouTubers that I might like, but also I would really like to learn from them and learn what it is that you like about these types of videos, because obviously I do want to make this as useful to you as possible and as enjoyable, and to do that I really, really could do with some feedback from you, if you wouldn't mind just sparing a minute or two just to let me know. That would be awesome. And thanks very much again, and I'll see you in the next video.